Yo guys, 1 week ago I upgraded to the new iOS 26, except I did it on my iPhone 13. It's been a week now and I've kind of taken it through the motions. So, this is my review on iOS 26 on the iPhone 13. Before I get into anything, I just want to read off the specs for the iPhone 13, which came out like in 2021, and the latest iPhone 17, base model by the way, but yeah, the latest iPhone 17, which came out this year. And then I'm gonna give you guys just some of the main features for iOS 26, just so that everyone has kind of basic knowledge on where we are right now versus what my phone is capable of, and the latest software. The iPhone 13 was released in 2021. It houses the Apple A15 Bionic chip. On the back, we have dual 12 megapixel cameras, 12 megapixel camera on the front as well. It has 4 gigabytes of RAM and a 3240 milliamp battery. The latest iPhone 17, which is slightly larger, it houses the A19 Apple chip. It has 8 gigabytes of RAM. It has dual 48 megapixel cameras at the back and a 48 megapixel selfie camera in the front. And it has a 3692 milliamp battery. So, guys, now that we've kind of compared what pretty much I'm running iOS 26 on and what is technically what it's supposed to be run on, which is the iPhone 17. Now I want to quickly just get into some of the features of the iOS 26, and then I'm gonna take you guys through some of the clips I took throughout the week. And yeah, iOS 26 boasts the liquid gloss design, customizable icons. You can easily change the icons to clear. You can add maybe a tint of red, blue, whatever it may be, but a tint of color. You can darken your icons. iOS 26 really brings a different look at customization, especially to pretty much the basis of your home screen without needing external apps. One of the other features is live translation, which I haven't had the privilege of using myself. But essentially, what it does is, for example, on calls, if you have a call with someone, for example, from France, and they only know French, it really allows you to stay in real time, translate what they're saying, and then basically mitigate any language barrier. Another big feature is call screening, and I think this one, yes, I haven't used this one again, but I think this one might actually be the most useful in my opinion. But essentially, from someone or in SA, I don't know in general in the world, but hey, do you know how it gets when you get spammed with hella like unknown number calls and thingy, just random calls. What call screening does essentially allows you to pretty much answer before you answer. So it answers the person and pretty much asks them for like basically a quick description of who they are, their name, what they want, basic information you need to know if you should really answer this call or not. And then it relays that to you so that before you answer, so that you can kind of make an informed decision about whether to pick up or not. iMessage background. So one of the other features is on iMessage now you're able to change your background. Granted, it will change the other person's background too. I haven't had the privilege of using this feature yet, so I don't know if they change it, it changes on yours. So now, what if you guys don't agree? But ultimately, if you change your background to your chat with someone else, it basically changes your guys' background of that chat. Prior, WhatsApp has always had that kind of bump on iMessage simply because you can always change your background and make it unique to you, but iMessage now has the same feature. The Photos app has gotten a complete overhaul. So granted, I upgraded to iOS 18 late, but I know a lot of my friends used to hate how the new Photos app was. That's kind of the reason why I didn't upgrade for the longest, simply because I don't want what I was used to kind of be changed. But essentially, Photos got a complete overhaul, a lot simpler to use now. It has two tabs. It has your Photos tab. It has your main library, and then it has collections where all your albums are, so that it's not pretty much everything in one thing and it looks messy and just unorganized. It feels more smooth and it's easier just to use in general. This is a little side feature as well, but for those that really are into, gaming on their phones, games have now been moved to its own app. So if you really want to look into games, there's an app for it specifically. Now, this for my music lovers, I am on to however I use Spotify. Don't flame me in the comments, but yeah, however I use Spotify. But essentially, for the Apple Music users, a new feature is coming called Automix. Automix basically allows you to transition into your songs a lot better instead of the the typical. I don't know if Apple Music has it. Like I said, I don't use it, but in Spotify, basically you're able to like kind of blend into the other song, but it doesn't mix it. Apparently, this is supposed to not a DJ level mix, but sort of like make it a seamless transition into the next song. Still haven't used this feature myself. Like I said, I don't use Apple Music. Another cool app that's been added to the base apps is the Preview app, and that's for documents. So it basically allows you to sign your documents, edit your documents, pretty much anything you need to do that you'd have to have Adobe. You can pretty much use the Preview app, and yeah, it just lets you handle your documents in its own separate app, pretty much. CarPlay for the new design. This one I've actually had the this one I've actually had the privilege of using, but looks a lot sleeker. I don't drive, I don't have a car, but I've been told it pretty much allows you to use CarPlay in a safer way while you're driving. So it's less, tedious to be able to maybe go back to your messages if you need to reply to someone. But essentially, it allows a more safer way of using CarPlay. And the last feature that I'm going to talk about is basically when you're charging your battery, it kind of shows the time to get to 80% and time to get to 100. But kind of a neat trick when you're charging so that you know how much time you're actually going to wait before your phone is fully charged. Pretty cool feature, I won't lie. So pretty much those are all the features. Well, those are the main features for the new software and pretty much the hardware that I'm running it on. Last week I tried my best to do a day in the life. I might just do it again if you guys really want it, just to see how the battery percentage kind of goes throughout the day. Let me know if you want me to redo that. For now, I'm gonna just play a few clips and kind of speak to you guys through, basically take you guys through out how the day went and where the phone was in certain times of the day. To the best of my knowledge, like I said, I had to basically scrap the video because a lot was just going wrong and I didn't really, my camera just wasn't cooperating, so I couldn't really show you guys actively the battery percentage. So yeah, let me know if you really want that video. I'll get it to you guys, but for now we're just gonna look through some of the clips of the day and I'm gonna just explain my experience. Pretty much the first day I ever used iOS 26. In a day in my life, well, a typical day in my life, how it fares, battery wise and all of that. And for the
As you guys can see, I started off my day at the gym. Phone was on 98%, had been charged that morning, and I had updated the night before, so I was still kind of getting the ropes of the software, but so far there were no hiccups. I also heard that one of the big issues is the overheating and the battery drain, which is another reason why I decided to do this experiment, mainly also because I'm using an older model, so let's see how it fares with the software, especially when it comes to these two big issues. After gym, I had to quickly head to the grocery store to get a few things for breakfast, and so far still no hiccups with the phone. Battery percentage was dying very quickly though, and all I was doing was filming. I hadn't really looked at anything else, no social media, no nothing. But yeah, battery was starting to concern me.
iOS 26 has me acting some sort of way.
At this point, I met up with Levo because she had to run a few errands at Brooklyn Mall at Dis-Chem. At this point in time, this is when the overheating started to be a bit of a concern.
Oh, the maneuver today, dude, yo. My phone's even things on 35, bro, and I still need to, attend something right now. Today was supposed to be focused on content, but I've been sure I've been home. So, yeah, shut up and now. Yeah, so far I haven't had any, I'll sit down probably, but I haven't had any, glitches and stuff with the thing, software or anything like that. And yeah.
At this point, my phone was around 5% or close to. I was trying my best to prolong it without using power saving mode, but ultimately I had no choice. And even then, it still died mid-event.
You guys realizing you guys a verdict on how that day actually was. It's like 2 weeks later, by the way. I'm actually currently editing the video, but also I got a cut, but we ain't gonna talk about it. But after that day, my biggest hiccup with the phone was just the overheating. Granted, I didn't feel it as much simply because I have a cover on, but if I was rocking raw phone, it would have been a problem. And then the battery drain seemed normal to me, but after I've been using the phone for longer, I have started to notice that it is slightly faster than what it normally is. Lately, I've been getting a lot more glitches than I did that day. The biggest one for me is when I open my phone, sometimes there's a glitch. However, iOS 26.1 just dropped and I think 26.2 is in beta. So hopefully they do fix that bug, but that has been my biggest one. And then there are times when the phone is really being intensively used where it kind of like the glitching sort of makes it like shut down, if that makes sense. So ultimately that is a big, red flag, I won't lie. But on a day-to-day basis, I really have no issues with the phone. I really do love the features. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention in the main features is iOS 26 post 3D wallpapers. So essentially, if your wallpaper has a subject, has a prominent subject, there's a icon that you can press on that will help you pretty much create like a little 3D sort of effect. And yeah, that is one of my favorite features to begin with. So, do I recommend it to someone? If you have an iPhone 13, no, I don't. I haven't had the pleasure of experiencing it on the iPhone 17 or any of the later models, so I won't be able to tell you in terms of like the downsides. But the downsides on the 13, decently high. I would rather stay on 18, wait for the bugs to be fixed or patched, and then upgrade later. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents. But anyway, guys, hope you guys did like that video. I really did enjoy making this video finally. Let me know if you guys want the day in the life. I pretty much show you properly how it kind of everything from what apps I'm using the most and how it looks and all of that stuff. Let me know if you want a more in-depth breakdown on the features and stuff. If you really did enjoy the video, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Please, 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 please turn on post notice so you know when I drop a video. Do the most. Love y'all, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, my bad. Oh, Ada Kalkan Sinser Radan has been your boy Cat. Love.